Good morning and welcome back to our second Leadership Empowerment session for 2024. And I'm excited about this year and what is happening in the time, and especially the challenging times we are living in. When I talk to my colleagues and other people, I realize that we all are going through some challenging times in this year. This first 3 months stretch us in every area known and every possible situation. And this is why this morning's teaching is so vitally important. The title for this morning is, Are Your Leaders in the Right Place? We will look at 3 levels of leadership. But this question, are your leaders in the right place, is a critical topic in any organization, organizational leadership and management. And to get your people in the right place ensures that your leaders are positioned effectively within your organization that will produce productivity and effectiveness. It will maximize their potential in your organization. It will foster productivity, innovation, and achieving strategic objectives. We're going to delve into this topic this morning, and hopefully we will finish on time, in time, within the 30 minutes that I set aside for teachings. It's not just about having people in leadership positions or giving them titles. It's ensuring that the individuals that you have are in the right place to maximize their impact and the success of your organization. The right person in the wrong place is chaos. They will not be motivated. You will have to push them. But once you put the right person in the right place, everything will run more smoothly in your organization. But before we jump into the teaching of the right person in the right place, let us define the right place. Let us clarify the term the right place. It's not merely about the hierarchy or job titles. It's rather about alignment. Aligning the skills, the expertise, and the personalities of the people that will need the goals of the organization. The right place is where leaders' strengths can shine and where they can leverage their expertise to drive positive change and inspire others around them. That is the right place. From the word go, I want you as a leader, as I'm teaching this morning, listen, observe, and evaluate your current position, your leadership team, and the people within your leadership team. So here are a few signs that might to indicate that the people you have might not be the right people in the right place. There's a lack of commitment. There's a disconnecting between the leader's skills and his strengths and the demands of the role. And that will lead to frustration and underperformance. So that's the first evaluation you must look at when you're evaluating this morning. Number 2, there's a lack of engagement. If your leaders seem disengaged and uninspired by their roles, it is an effort for them to step into their place of functionality. And this can be a sign that they are not in the right place. Passion and enthusiasm are essential drivers of effective leadership. And if you have the right persons or people in the right position, there will be passion, there will be enthusiasm, they will be excited about their workplace and their work and their organization, and they will be motivated. The third sign to observe to determine if your people are in the right place is performance issues. Are certain leaders more consistently underperforming or struggling to meet the expectations? This might be an indication of a mismatch between their skills and the demands of the position and where they are. There's a high turnover. The next point. Excessive turnover among leadership ranks. People don't last. They are there for a few months, a few years, and then they leave. Frustrated, irritated, and unproductive. And leave behind a toxic environment for others to operate in. Resistance to change. Yes, people are creatures of habit. They don't like change. But a good leader is constantly challenging the status quo. They are constantly looking for something better, greater, and more effective. But if there's a high turnover in your organization, look at your leaders. Most probably they are in a position that don't suit them. That leads to dissatisfaction, and then they will leave. And the last sign of a disgruntled or frustrated person in the wrong position is a cultural misfit. There's a clash between the organizational culture and values that is challenging your leaders constantly. And then when they are challenged in that area of a misplacement, they cannot exert influence. They cannot build effective, meaningful relationships with others around them. So these are just six quick signs of an ineffective person or the right person in the wrong position. The right person in the wrong position is just as bad as the wrong person in the right position. So as leaders, we need to evaluate our staff constantly. When changes come in your organization, you must realize, I need to look at my team. Are they in the right place? Are there somebody else that can do the job more effectively? And you will be surprised, after 30 years, 3 decades in leadership and leadership dynamics, I've seen it how many times, over and over and over. If you have a wrong person in the right place and you redeploy them to another department, another position, suddenly that person is blooming, found their niche. So every organization, we all have leaders, but not every organization has the right leaders in the right place. So we are challenged as leaders to make sure that we put the right person. Don't just fill a position because there's a vacancy. Fill the vacancy with the right person. If there's a person in the wrong place, it will bring damage to that person, to the organization, and you will destroy the harmony within that department. It's very difficult to release a wrong person. They normally stick to a position because they don't want to be a failure. But we need to create a culture in the organization that if you do not fit, it's not you that is failing. It's a misplacement of you. So create the culture of change. Create the culture of redeployment. Not of dumping, but of placing people in a position of a greater influence. If an organization continue to ignore this development process, it will perpetuate damage in the health and the sustainability of your organization. Even though you have an excellent product, your service, but if your leaders are not in the right place, they will lose their interest. At the first piece of leadership development is to understand there are 3 vital levels of leadership. and asking the questions, are my leaders equipped to lead at the level they have been deployed? And let us dive into the 3 levels of leadership. The first level of leadership is leading yourself. If you can't lead yourself, who will then follow you? If people look at you, they get confused between what you say, what you do, and what you live. So lead yourself. So there are 4 qualities of someone who's able to lead themselves. The first quality, they are a constant learner, an eternal student. They are readers. They study. They watch podcasts. They watch YouTube videos. They attend seminars. And they are mentees to a mentor. You can never outgrow that position of being a mentee, because we need to learn, we need to grow. Life is changing, circumstances change, people change, environment change, and it is now already a cliche to say post-COVID. We have seen how life has changed post-COVID, and that was a good time to evaluate if you are leading yourself. Can you adapt to change? We have seen in various sectors, government, corporate, and in the church, that the way we are doing things now are different from the time pre-COVID. And we can never go back to pre-COVID. That's history. Life has changed. People have changed. Situations have changed. Communities have changed. So we need to change as well. Number 2, they are dependable. You never question whether they will be on time or that they will do the right things. They are reliable as an invoice. They are reliable as the person who switched on and off the electricity during load shedding. I wish the whole country can be as effective as the people that are flipping the switches for load shedding. That is dependability. Number 3, a self-starter. In other words, a person that don't wait for somebody to say something, but they use their initiative because they know things need to be done. They initiate action. Even if it's a mistake, that's fine. We can always fix a mistake. But we can harness initiative. If a person has made a mistake, use that as a learning opportunity. Because through this mistake, it is revealed what a person knows, what they lack, and what training needs to be done. And the 4th quality of someone who are leading themselves, they are living according to principles. And for those that know me, I might be what's a good word? A pain. Because I will always ask you, what principle has been violated? If you address principles, you won't attack people. People is not the problem. The principle that has been violated, that is the problem. And being a principle-centered person, you will live in integrity. So someone who can lead himself and lead himself well has the potential to step up to the next level of leadership. But this next step is not an automatic step. Some don't make it. Some people are happy where they are. But that's also fine. But you cannot be promoted to the next level if you haven't passed this level at its acquired state. So the second type of level of leadership is leading others. To lead others, you must step back from task completing into people equipping. Yes, we still have tasks that we need to complete, but your major focus is no longer medial tasks, day-to-day running tasks. Your primary focus is the equipping of the next generation. So your focus is from tasks to people. And at this level, it's about part planning, part vision casting, part equipping, and part administration. These are the things that we need to understand for this level of leadership. It takes planning to move past getting things done by yourself, moving to a place where you're equipping people for their tasks, to complete their assignments. It takes vision casting to help the team to see why they are doing things. What is behind the reason? Once people understand the why, the motivation is there. It takes equipping to honor God. Equipping people, you are honoring God. Because God has given all of us a certain measure of abilities that needs to be honed, polished, enlarged. And by doing this, you're honoring people and you're honoring God within the people. So these are this is the second level of equipping other people, of leadership development. So when we look at this, what are the 5 qualities that someone must have to lead others? They are observers. They don't just focus on what needs to be done. They take notice of what their team is doing and is not doing. Dr. John Maxwell referred to this concept as walking slowly through the crowds. Walk through your department. Get to the people while they are working. Observe. Be alert. The second aspect, question. Ask well-directed questions. Find ways to teach and to lead people through asking not yes or no questions, but open-ended questions. So you can hear where they are. So you can hear what their frustrations are. So a good leader that leads others are people who can ask open-ended questions. They will push the team past the obstacles. The third aspect, the third quality that we must look at, they are value-driven. They utilize opportunities for teachable moments. I've said that in the previous level as well. We need to train and teach people to drive home the importance of the business core values, their core convictions. Make sure that they know it, understand it, embrace it, and live it and reflect it in the way they are doing their work. Number 4, gratefulness. Take the time to make sure that the team knows they are appreciated. Tell that to them. Don't just point out the negative things. Don't just point out the things that went wrong. Give credit where credit is due. That will motivate them and that will encourage them, which will push up the productivity levels. The last quality that we must look at here is being optimistic. A leader that leads others help their team to see the future. So many times in the struggles of life, we get caught up in life and we lose the focus on the future. We lose our bigger picture vision. And these are 5 qualities that we must embrace, make part of our life if we want to lead others effectively. The third level of leadership, and this one, not many people get to this level of leadership, and this is leading leaders. This is a difficult one. This is a tough one. It's easier to lead followers than to lead leaders, because followers will do what you say. Leaders will ask why. They will ask, isn't there a better way of doing things? Your effectiveness as a leader of leaders is determined by what you do to help others to accomplish their goals. At this level, leadership is part evaluation, part coaching, part courage, and to live in the present. Yes, we have our eyes in the future, but we must live in the present. It takes evaluation to set aside time to reflect. If you want to be effective in your evaluation of life, set aside in the morning and in the afternoon time to reflect on the day, what has happened. Tomorrow morning, set time aside to ponder on the way forward for this day. We must reflect on where the organization is going. We must look at where the team is. Does the team still satisfy the requirements of taking the organization where they are supposed to be? It takes courage to coach, to raise up a next generation. Working through challenges, leading people, leading leaders to help them to know that you have their back. They must be comfortable in leading, because they will make mistakes, but they must be safe in the knowing that you have their backs. It takes the presence to build and cultivate trust. The entire organization need to understand this principle, and this will help you to remain a connected leader. And this is leading leaders. What are the qualities of someone who is able to lead others? They are good communicators. Not all good communicators can lead others, but if you want to lead others, you need to become a good communicator. That will bring forth effectiveness, consistency, and you are communicating direction and vision, expectations and requirements. You are a strategizer. You connect with the vision, and then you work on today a strategy to take the people to the next level. You are a strategic thinker. Number 3, you're a listener. You learn more about people by listening and observing than you realize. These type of leaders are concerned with keeping their thumb on the pulse, to know what is happening. Don't get disconnected from your team. And then the last one on this aspect, develop a thick skin. Don't be oversensitive. Don't take all criticism so personal that you sit in the state of depression. The criticism of a few don't deter you from doing what you've been called to do. But if everybody is saying it, hand in your own bosom, evaluate. You always have people that criticize, that are negative. Don't build your vision, your self-worth on a few critics. It's important to move beyond this step and to get to each step. Consider this question today. Are your leaders at the right place? Take some time and reflect on the pool of leaders that are surrounding you in your business, in your organization, or in your ministry. Are they equipped to lead at the level they are currently in? A lot of times, especially in churches today, people are given responsibility because of their availability, not necessarily on their effectiveness. Yes, we need to honor and reward faithfulness. But it's no good appointing a heart surgeon because he's always in the theatre if he is not qualified. So how do I ensure that my people are at the right place? Have a tailor-made development plan. Provide personal development plans for each of your team members based upon their talents, their gifts, and their assignments. Assess the results. Target their training and their mentoring based on what they need. You see, we cannot do just generalized training when you are leading leaders. You need to target specific training in the lower echelons, lower levels of leaders. You have a generalized training material. But as you progress into leading others, leading leaders, you become more strategic regarding that training. Be flexible and adaptable. Recognize that leadership needs may evolve over time. The fact that your leaders was ready yesterday. They were ready yesterday, they were in the right place last year. It does not say they are currently in the right place because everything changed. And be on the constant lookout for the signs which I gave in the beginning of people in the wrong place. And if they're in the wrong place, be willing to deploy them. It's for their good and the good of the organization. But cultivate this culture of we can redeploy you. You are not bad. You're not a failure. The third aspect, succession planning. A good leader is constantly on the lookout for the next generation, to groom future leaders. You must always have leaders on standby that are trained. So when there's a vacancy, you are not in distress. There's no chaos. They can just step in to the next position. This ensures that the pipeline of talent is always full. And I want to close with this morning. And I think this is very important. Open communication. Encourage open dialogue between leaders, their supervisors, between you and your team, about career options, their aspirations, their challenges, their developmental needs. This allows for early intervention in a leader's life. Quickly you can identify this. So I want to leave this with you this morning. In conclusion, ensure that your leaders are in the right place. It's essential for them and for your organization or your ministry. By aligning leadership talent and organizational needs, you are fostering a culture of continuous development. Be involved in feedback. You can maximize your staff impact in your organization and other people through sustainable growth. Remember, it's not just about having leaders. It's about having the right leaders in the right places. Thank you for tuning in this morning, and remember, this video will be on my YouTube channel. I've also started my own TikTok channel as well recently, and any of these videos may be used for training purposes in your organization. And if you want me to come to your company, your business, your church to do leadership training on whatever topic, I've got a list of how many topics that I can assist you with. Please contact me, send me a message, WhatsApp me, email me, direct message me, but get hold of me. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you.